It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the AFC North. It's the Ravens and the Browns, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 22.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand, and this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from Cleveland. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. So here comes the Browns offense with a long field ahead. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
And he's exactly the man you want in control of your offense. Excellent arm, good zip on the ball, not afraid to use his legs when he needs to. And what he's excelled at doing is making plays when the first read isn't available or when the pressure's about to get to him.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. A shotgun snap for Watson. Brought in over the middle by Grant. 5 yards on the game's first play. 2nd down.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Not the desired outcome, but probably won't be the last time we see him take a shot downfield.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. To throw is Watson. And that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, He's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. The quick feet by Jackson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Let's go.
And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 38. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Good job. There we go, baby. There we go.
So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Right back to Dobbins on 1st. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
Good call, baby.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Greg Newsome up to make the stop.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he's got it. And the Ravens are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
They'll run here with Edwards. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
It looks like they quit hitting the snooze button on their alarm there. Finally a sign of life from this defense. They've been fairly passive on this opening drive. Now able to stand up on 1st and goal, and they sent that play backwards.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Jackson. This is caught. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
This defense hasn't let them in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. Throwing is Jackson. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On to the 2nd from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Chubb. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, Watson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long.
56, the mic, boys, 56.
Now it's Watson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Justin Madubuike with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Well, 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They go play action now. Jackson. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And yes, out come the flags. That's a big letdown defensively. They had him stop behind the line, but the face mask going to bail the offense out.
And the hand does not have to be up there for too long. Just a little bit of a grab is going to be enough to get the call and the 15 yards against them.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
And that's patience to be admired right there, because he looks left, looks right, and waits for the right guy to come open, spots him in the middle of the field, and delivers.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, down at the 33. Now Jackson going to run. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Play action. It's Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Working with a 2nd and 3. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to get it back here just past the 35.
We got this.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. After the interception, here's Watson, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. Flushed out right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Let's go. Mike 56. Mike 56.
From the gun, here's Watson. And that is incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Let's go, fellas.
The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half, and you wonder if they'll just take this 3-0 lead to the locker room.
Let's go to work, guys.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to get the football there as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their 38. Watson now to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
56 is Mike. 56 is Mike.
Here's Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. The long-distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot that they snapped it from. So field position becomes a factor. I think at this spot, you might also want to think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air. Maybe you can get 6 out of it instead of 3.
Yeah, see what happens. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this one is incomplete. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Ravens. And it was a tricky half to figure out numbers-wise. They've got the lead, but you'd figure they're definitely talking about ways to get this passing game back on track. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they too have found passing lanes to be hard to come by so far. As you see by the numbers, they'll need to figure that out in the second half.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And they're going to bring it down just past the 15, and a flag down as well. This is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Here's a give to Dobbins.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 46. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson, he finds his man, complete. It's Grant. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Browns send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line.
Ravens offense getting set and ready for this next drive.
And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson.
Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play.
An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. Returnable for Grant. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Adafe Owe
Came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a 3rd and about 14.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Letting one fly deep for Cooper, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 40.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
They'll go option to the short side.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter.
You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
2nd and 8 coming up. And here's Jackson on the option.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. Now Jackson.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position, a touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Faking the give, now Watson. Now he'll escape to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
The Browns send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. 47 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
On the option right is Jackson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off.
Just like that. Just like that.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
They'll go option to the short side. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Again, Jackson will keep it.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Way to do it, baby. Way to come up. Way to come up.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Brandon, I can just tell you from experience, there's nothing like pitching a shutout on defense, but even more so when it's a tight game. I mean, when every defensive play is crucial and you don't give up any points, boy, they're going to feel awfully good about themselves after this one.
Yeah, exactly. The offense wasn't humming, but, hey, all they needed was, well, you can't score 1 point. All they needed was 2 points. Well, you can't score 2 points on offense. All they needed was at least 3, and they got what they needed.
They got what they needed. Exactly right.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. For the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say, it's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket, and that's what they've got going forward.